common question that I get asked is how to do a proper cut in the gym. So pretty much how you shred off the fat while maintaining muscle mass to have a better appealing physique. So step one is always make sure that you have enough muscle mass before you try to do a cut. If you're a beginner and you've only been strength training or lifting for a year, I would not recommend trying to do a cut. You have a solid 3-4 years of newbie gains that you're able to stack on a tremendous amount of muscle mass at the beginning of your lifting journey. So I definitely recommend hitting that 3-4 year mark, getting a lot of muscle mass, and then if you have accumulated a decent amount of fat over that time, then you can definitely implement a cut in the gym. And the way that I would recommend going about that would be making sure that you're tracking the data. That's going to be the most efficient and most effective way. You can skip all of the losing muscle and losing strength phases that I experienced when I was younger. If you're tracking all the data, you're tracking your body weight, you're tracking your calories, tracking your protein, even your macros, your steps, all of it, then you're going to be able to shred off fat at a decent rate and maintain your muscle mass and maintain all of your strength, because that's one of the biggest issues that people will see. They'll do a cut and then they'll lose fat and they'll lose muscle, and then they look the same except they just weigh less. So what you're going to want to do is find your maintenance calories, which is basically tracking your calories every single day, tracking your body weight every single day. After you see that you've weighed the same weight on average from week to week to week for like a couple weeks, let's just say you weighed 200 pounds and you've been eating 3,000 calories. That's your maintenance calories. It's 3,000 calories. So what you're going to do to get into a small deficit where you're not losing muscle but you're losing just fat is decrease those calories just slightly and then maybe increase your step count just slightly. Or you could do one or the other, but I like to do a combination of both. So what I would do is I would go down 200 calories, so I'd go to 2,800 calories, then I would bump up my step count maybe by 3,000-4,000. That way I'm burning like 50 to 100 more calories per day with those extra steps, and I'll be eating 200 less calories. So then that puts me in about like a 250-300 calorie deficit. Obviously, depending on how big you are and how much fat you have to lose, you can go on a larger deficit per day. I typically like to stay around, like me personally, 200 to 300 calories per day. Some people go up to 500. People that go up higher than that, it's probably because they have a lot of body fat to lose. But me, in my specific circumstances, sometimes my deficits are even smaller than that. For most people, I would say in between 300 and 500 calories for a deficit would be the way to go. And you pretty much just make sure that you're keeping an eye on your weight and on your calories, because your maintenance calories will change over time. You may decrease by a couple hundred calories, walk a little bit more, you may lose weight for a couple of weeks, and then you see that it plateaus again. That means that your maintenance calories have decreased because you now weigh less as a human and your metabolism may have slowed down a little bit. So then the next step is to decrease again or increase the activity again. You pretty much just slowly and continuously keep doing this. Obviously, you don't want to get your calories down too low or have your activity extremely high. Once you're at that point, then that means that your metabolism is starting to slow down. This usually doesn't happen until about like 3-4 months in, and then I would recommend to start incorporating refeed days, pretty much giving your body one day a week, sometimes 2 days a week, where you're not in a deficit, so it can kind of be fed, recover a little bit. Is also going to help implement you maintaining your muscle mass and keeping your strength. And then you can also do a complete metabolic reset, where for a couple of weeks you just slowly increase your calories, get your metabolism back firing again, get your maintenance calories back up, and then go back into a deficit once your maintenance calories are higher again. Another reason to incorporate the refeed days would be if you start to notice that you're getting a little bit weaker, or if your pumps aren't as good as what they were, or you feel like you're like losing muscle mass, and you can start incorporating those as well. Refeed day is kind of like a break for your metabolism, kind of like a rest day is a break for your body. So that would be the steps to take in cutting in the gym.